What's up, Mom? How you going?
Good.
It's been a long ass time.
Yes, it has.
What's news?
Ugh, it's been over a year.
Probably. Yeah. God.
There's so much that's going on.
Yeah.
So busy, so tired, so too much.
I think we said all that last time.
Yeah, I know. I feel like that's my narrative for my whole life.
Do you think that's negative?
Yeah.
Why
Or geez, so
are you
realistic?
okay? So
I
why are
don't know.
you busy? Why are you tired? Why is it too much?
Oh, okay. Um, there's so much I want to do and there's so much I want to achieve. And I have high expectations of myself.
Yeah.
And I'm quite optimistic in the fact that I can.
Yeah.
So therefore, I make myself lists and stuff like that.
Yeah. 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 I totally get you. So you always got this goal or a few goals even, and you're always striving to reach the ideal.
That's right.
And
That's right. Until I
therefore,
can't.
you never really cross off the list, do you? You
No.
go, "Oh, okay, I didn't get to that. I'll do it tomorrow."
Yeah.
But is that why you're tired? Is that what's making you tired?
Or maybe because I'm older too, you know.
Mm. So you reckon your energy levels have changed over time?
Yeah, yeah, they have. Yeah, absolutely.
Damn.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I think I'm
In
feeling
my
that.
50s now.
I think I'm feeling that.
How do you,
50s,
yeah,
mate. I don't believe that.
oh, whatever. But oh my gosh, you're so
Um,
charming. You're so charming. You're crazy.
anyway, so I feel like that's heaps normal. I heard the other day that you're always going to have more goals to achieve than have achieved.
Yeah,
There's
right.
an infinite amount of goals we can set for ourselves.
Yeah.
And I heard this thing on that same vein. It's like if you set a goal and you in your waking day don't decide to act on that goal within the day that you're awake, like, oh yeah, I'll get that done later. Like New Year's resolutions is a perfect one to bring about.
Yeah, yeah.
Because like if you're thinking about these New Year's resos in December, anywhere before New Year's, if you don't start it anywhere in that December period, how much do you even want to do it? Why wouldn't you just start it then? Anyways, and now it's become New Year's.
Well, because
Yeah.
December is kind of like one of those times that's for family, for the beach. It's summer. It's for doing other things. It's sort of like it's not like your routine actually gets a bit out of whack.
Yeah.
And so
Holidays.
therefore yeah, holidays, like I'm on holidays, you're on holidays. Is
Yeah.
your routine out of whack?
Absolutely. I
Yeah,
barely slept last night. Yeah.
really?
Yeah. I
Uh,
stayed up late. Um, yeah. So I guess, yeah, there's so many ways to spend our time. Um, and here we are making a podcast.
well, just another thing about saying, oh, it's been so long that we've done the podcast, been so busy and everything. There's also this thing of I don't kind of regret everything that's happened in the past. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't look back and say, oh, I should have done this and I should have done that. I never spend time on that. Do you?
You can think about regret and stuff. Like I feel like people would feel that way around New Year's is like every kind of cycle where they look back on their life.
All right.
Even
Or
like
thinking I thought I'd be somewhere else. I think I'm past that.
birthdays are a good one
Why would you wear
because the
sunglasses?
sun is like right mark.
Sorry.
Birthdays.
Yeah. No, you have to use that.
No, so birthdays are another one where people feel sad.
Yeah, right.
People tend to have a birthday, and I reckon there's a lingering feeling of I could have been something
I
else.
think you're in that age group. Like we look at biography because you're coming up to your 30s. There's kind of like a thing in your 30s, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a thing in your 30s that is it's almost like you think because when you're in your 20s, you think you're going to be somewhere, right? And then when you get to your 30s, you're possibly not there. So therefore it's like I didn't think it was going to look like this, but the possibilities are endless
Yeah.
between 20 and 30, or like
Yeah.
you come to your Saturn return on your 28th
Yeah.
birthday and stuff, and things are just weird. You shake things up a bit.
It's a hectic time.
Yeah, yeah. And then when you come into between your 30s and 33, it's like it's very business-like, but it's also the dark night of the soul. It's
Right.
almost like there's a little bit of a bitterness because you haven't arrived at where you thought you'd be.
Yeah. Well, this is like, because like the first thing you brought up was like feeling tired and
Yeah.
feeling like it's a bit too much sometimes. And I asked you even if that was a negative kind of feeling or a negative feeling in general, and you're like, yeah. And there's kind of two ways I feel like it can go, and we oscillate between the two all the time. I think it's like the negativity of we could have done this or we could be there, or those negative feelings of being in lack or like you're lacking. Um, I can't help but be always optimistic leaning,
Yeah, yeah.
and that's just my, what did you call it, like
Temperament.
temperament? Yeah. So like I think that's what I
But
really,
I modeled that too. I'm not saying you got it all from me,
yeah, no, for
but
sure.
yeah, that's part of like, they
But
have
I guess in this
nature and
conversation,
nurture.
you might not be modeling it.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Like,
I can get to that my age, 53.
mm,
I'm coming up to the time where, there's more of an inner journey, like it's more of a spiritual thing. It's less
right.
physicality. You've got to slow down a little bit. That doesn't mean you don't exercise, you don't do the things that you love,
Yeah, yeah.
or keep trying to be healthy and all the rest of it. You just have to recognize that the physicality is not as much as what it used to be.
Yeah.
And that includes like your body clock. You
Mm,
can't fit as much into the day as what you used to. You have to rest.
really?
Yeah, you do.
Okay, so when you say
Yeah.
you gotta slow down, it's
Yeah.
not so much you've got to, but it's more like physics, like reality
Well, the
will
body
force
is
you to.
aging,
Yeah, so you're
Yeah.
forced to slow down through
Yeah.
aging itself.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And I feel like people like myself don't want to believe stuff like that. I want to believe that I'll always be young and vigorous.
I still believe I'm young and vigorous. Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong, but the energy levels are not as
right.
high as what they could be. Like you don't have that, you know, um, you don't have as much energy. So
Have
your
you tried
energy has
smoking
to.
crack?
Oh, well, since as if I've tried smoking.
I'm joking. That's crazy.
Does that do like that's probably gonna shorten your life, not lengthen it?
Oh, I'm sure I do the worst,
Yeah,
worst things
exactly.
imaginable.
Yeah. Funny question though.
Yeah, no, I'm also like, it's just annoying to come to the realization that, um, like time waits for no man. Like
Yeah.
reality, gravity's got away with us all, and time has a way with us all. And yeah, it's kind of crazy to think that we will slow down. It will end and things like that. Which reminds me of something you were talking about on the phone earlier, which was like there's only so much time in the day. Um, like you were talking about something about like something taking up rent
Ah,
in your head.
so this is the last day of my holidays. And I don't know, I think I'll look at you through here. It's just better for my neck.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
um, yeah, so it's the last day of my holidays. So then I've got the amazing job of going back to work tomorrow, which is really
Congratulations.
oh, you can congratulate me, but you're also going back to work tomorrow.
Next week.
So Monday?
No, no, yeah, next week,
Oh,
Monday.
so not tomorrow.
No,
Oh, okay, all right. So
sorry.
I just think that it's there's an anxiety to it. And there's such an unknown because
The Sunday scaries.
well, it's not that because usually Sundays I'm fine, but because I've been on holidays for 2 weeks and there's also an unknown component going back to work.
Such as,
Well, our company is different owners.
Right. So it changed ownership over the
Yeah.
Christmas break.
Yeah, and I haven't met them yet. So
Oh, that makes sense. So
yeah,
there's
yeah.
layers to this stuff.
Yeah, there's layers. So, there's that kind of thinking, feeling, and there's like a lack of sleep because it's in my mind, and then thinking about all that I have to do when I get back there, thinking about all the students and all the rest of it. But then I sort of go rein it back in and I think, oh, it's a driver. Do you
Mm.
know what I mean? Like it's like this
Yeah.
whole sort of energy beforehand that's racing, and it's kind of like it drives me to do really well or to just focus,
Yeah. So
because I'm percolating here.
it's like a performance anxiety where
Yeah,
but
it
you
is.
don't it's like exactly like performance anxiety where
Yeah,
you will end up performing really well
yeah,
even though you fear that you won't
yeah,
because you don't know what's coming at you. You don't know what these new owners are like, so
yeah,
you're gonna have to figure that out on the spot when it happens and perform to your best. But you should know you got this.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Because I feel like, and you correct me if I'm wrong, that you're confident in your ability
Abilities,
at
yeah.
work.
Yeah, I think so. But in the same sense, like there's that confidence there, but it's sort of like if if it didn't go well, and something happened and circumstances changed,
Hmm.
I'll deal with that if that happens. You know what I mean? Like there's also that side that comes in very strongly,
Yeah.
but that anxiety about, oh, this is going to happen. It's like that almost
Right. Oh, we might
what's the
have spoke
word,
about
trepidation or something.
trepidation. Geez, way over my head. I
Sorry.
don't know what that means.
Okay.
Do you want to explain
No.
it? Should we look it
Uh,
up?
you can look it up, but
What's trepidation mean?
it's like something before something.
A
Oh, that's
feeling of fear or anxiety about something that may happen.
see, something before something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right. Oh,
yeah,
that's a really good topic
yeah.
because trepidation. Nice. I like that.
Mm.
The feeling of fearing or anxiety before something that may
You
happen.
always love your words, don't you?
Yeah.
Tell them what your favorite word.
Ah, it's too many.
No, blase.
Blase is good. Blase is good.
Yeah.
So yeah, blase, we'll get back to that one. But trepidation, I think we bring this up. Oh yeah.
Low battery.
No, it's my internet. Anyway, we bring this up before, or I say it a lot, and I don't even know if it's true, but it seems about right. Where that when they do these brain imaging scans of the activation of our brain, it looks the same when we're excited and
Mhm.
when we're nervous. It's almost like the same thing.
Yeah, right.
So you could, if you're optimistic, you would go into it and being more excited. And if you're a bit more pessimistic leaning, you're going to be more nervous and scared.
Yeah, so there's always this thing that I say to students too, like it could be exciting, but excitement's also terrifying when you're doing something new.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. But you'll find like somebody that's really into something instead, like every performer still gets stage fright,
yeah,
but I feel like um the willingness to do it regardless of the fear, that it takes an element of courage maybe.
yeah,
And and I think that when it's a necessity, me and TJ were talking about this the other day, you can work heaps hard for others, but when you work for yourself, it's not the same. And I feel like it's that way because it's not even necessary. Your little goals and your little pipe dreams of what you want to achieve on your own,
yeah,
it'll never have the same energy behind it because it's just your thoughts in your own head and you have to do all the work to make it happen.
that's right.
But if
Do you
it's
have a clear path of, you know what I mean?
exactly,
Because sometimes you can have too many
yeah,
things.
so many things can come in
Yeah.
the way. You could be totally wrong about what you're thinking, whatever. Um, and then I lost my train of thought. What were we talking about?
That's what I mean. Like you can have so many things, like you want to do something, like put it this way, say you with your building.
Yeah.
So you'll be finishing your apprenticeship this year, right?
Yeah.
So say you with your building, how you have an idea, but your idea is
Ah,
not tangible
so
yet.
okay. I remember now.
Yeah.
Can I quickly finish it?
Yeah, go for it. I was
Yes.
trying to prompt you.
Oh, thanks. So with work, you're going to do it because you need to pay rent. You have a
Yeah.
relationship to everyone you work with.
Mm.
There's a reason why you do the work is because you got a bit of a passion behind it.
Yeah.
You didn't choose this job that you've got willy-nilly. You've got a lot of reasons behind it, and therefore for you to make rent each week and to show up to work isn't as hard as for you to start something completely new on your own.
Well, there's a vulnerability
Yeah.
to starting something new on your own. What if you fail?
Um, a lesson learned. I don't think
Yeah,
failure
right.
is bad at all. I
Yeah.
think people,
But you don't
um,
feel like there's a fear of failure,
of course, there's a fear,
you
but I
know?
think mainly what you said about your element of planning could be wrong.
Mm.
You could be aiming towards the wrong target, but if you want to do something, failure is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Failure is not a bad thing
Well, there's
whatsoever.
nothing you can do about it. Oh, once it happens anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's like real consequences for failing.
Yeah.
Um, like dangerous ones I can think of at the top of my head. Like you could,
A
there's
lot
so
of the
many.
success stories are just from when people do fail. That's when there's something that
Yeah,
they rise from that. There's something that tempers them or
I love the quote that there's no such thing as failure, just a lesson learned. And it almost ties in with learning itself. It's like you can't really learn anything if you didn't fail.
yeah.
If you have to like make an assumption about reality and then go to act it into being, like make a plan, try and act it out, try to execute that plan. Something's going to pop up that you didn't know that was going to happen
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
time. And I think a lot of people, I think it's just a lack of imagination and willingness to achieve that stops people because I used to hear this quote that would be like, afraid of success. It's like you're afraid of success. You don't want to do the thing. It's like you can't possibly be afraid of success. Like that's an oxymoron.
Yeah, but what about when people self-sabotage? What's that?
Self-sabotage.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
I
It's sort
think
of
that's
almost
it.
like some people don't feel deserving. Like there's
Oh
underlying
God, I
reasons.
can I can talk on this because I think it's a lack of like a priorities being mixed up. It's like if you want to be a conscientious person in life and studious and on time and all that good stuff, you probably don't want to be staying up late partying or you know, no runner should be like a chain smoker, but like I can only talk on this to the amount that I see addictive tendencies in myself, and I'm a victim to them because I fall victim to these addictive personality traits that I got,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I don't think it's a bad thing.
Yeah, this is the thing. I think when you think it's a bad thing, it can make it even worse. But then also, what's the driving factor that's actually going to make you stop? Like
Well, shame. I
addictions,
think shame is good.
right?
Shame is good. You feel shame when you know that you're doing the wrong thing, but you do it anyway. Um, but you do it anyway because whether it's your biological need or like some kind of like excessive dopamine, like I need to smoke the weed to feel good. Um, yeah, it's like fuck, man. People
It's
do it.
really hard because I don't think that like we can't be prescriptive about like why a person does certain things. Very much it's in their own
Oh
individual
yeah,
dreaming and stuff like
you
that.
can't
It's
lead a horse to water and expect it to drink.
no meaning that you can't say that because you feel a certain way that others feel. Some people, their addiction is like
True.
completely different to why you do things or,
Yeah.
you
I
know,
think the best part of it is how detrimental is it really in the grand scheme of things? Um, I see a lot of people try to quit coffee and go, no, no, no coffee for me, thanks. And like you'll just see them like get a bit obsessive over it, like no,
Yeah, yeah,
no coffee.
because they've told them,
I've
yeah,
gone this many days without coffee, and
yeah, yeah.
they need to tell you that. And it's like that's so sweet. And I think that this little bit of like stress about how much coffee they're intaking in their lives, it's very minimal in the grand scheme of things. You can be a bit like picky here and there, but in a month's time, you see that person having a coffee, you might have a little laugh about it. But
Well, just think about the world and how it's turned everything is so like health conscious, and we need to be doing this and we need to be doing that. All this information that just comes at us
yeah,
through social media, through TikTok,
yeah.
whatever, it's
What's your
so, well, that is raising our expectations of like how
oh
we're supposed to be. And we're seeing all this
yeah,
stuff, and it's like, oh my God, we need to be like this, or we need, oh, the high beauty
yeah.
standards of this and
But
that.
my favorite thing is
We
when
never
you
talked
meet
about
people
that.
in real life and they don't give a fuck. And I think a lot of people, more than not, the normal everyday person on the street, it's going to probably change with all these younger kids frothing YouTubers and stuff. But I mean, we can talk. We're on YouTube right now.
Yeah.
But the thing is that when you meet a normal person on the street, I'm thinking about some people that I know right now that couldn't give a fuck about somebody filming themselves and gonna post it on YouTube. And they would see somebody, these get ready with me
Yes, yes,
videos.
yes.
Oh, I want to fucking slip my wrist every time I see one.
Wow.
That's
Wow,
that's
that's
hy-
really
it's
dramatic.
hyperbole. It's hyperbolic, but like I don't truly mean that. But it's just like
But then here we
you guys talk
are.
about good vibes only. It's like good luck. You know what I mean? There's many different
Yeah, but here
colors to the
we are
rainbow.
here videoing ourselves.
Yeah.
How is this different?
I think about this all the time.
Putting ourselves on show, which is quite, there's a vulnerability to that,
Yeah.
because it's like, oh, maybe someone's going to say, oh, you guys are full of shit, or
Dude,
why are you doing that? Or you're just
I think about
showing off.
I literally think about
Yeah,
that all
yeah.
the time. And my response to it is let them do it. I
Like,
mean,
can we do the get ready with us today?
God, I'd hate myself. But
Yeah,
like
fair enough.
we can do that. Do you know what I mean? We can do that. But
Yeah,
like at the end of the day, to be able to film yourself like this is actually a luxury. It's
yeah,
like I think about reading, for
yeah,
example, or listening to a podcast, or I mean, when you're listening to a podcast and you're making dinner for yourself, or
yeah,
these things are a luxury. If you don't have the luxury or the time to be listening to a mother and son talk shit on the internet,
yeah, yeah.
like you're busy doing other things, and that's so fine. I often the thing is that I checked my screen time with mum earlier. I've got an average of 6 hours a day. So I don't
And
know.
that's not even part of your work, or you're not checking emails and stuff like that.
I do a lot of it is like my phone stays on for YouTube. My
Right.
phone stays on for maps while I'm driving.
Yeah.
My phone stays off for music sometimes. I'm just trying to justify it,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
essentially we all have more of a screen time than we'd like to admit. And yeah, I also don't feel like there's anything wrong with exposing yourself, but in the same vein, you're going to open yourself up to people scrolling past your shit and going, fuck that.
I feel like
These
when
cunts
I
are
have,
fucked.
don't swear like that.
Sorry. But I do it. I just
Yeah.
I do it. I'll be on my phone like I can't believe people live this life. And then
But I feel like when I've been on the internet too much, like scrolling and stuff, I feel like my brain's like a ping pong.
yeah,
Like it's not good. Yeah.
it's not
I
good.
can recognize
Why is
that
it not good?
because there's so much information, and it's got
Yeah.
like, it takes you out of your bodily senses.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like if you read a book, that's completely different, because it's like, it's just, I don't know why it's different. It just is.
I think the subject matter is the thing you're pointing out because like TikTok is hyper quick.
Yeah.
It's context switching so quickly.
Yeah.
You go from like the wars in Palestine to like some chick shaking her butt, and then you're kind of like, wow, the world
Yeah.
is doing this and is doing that. And
Yeah.
then you put down your phone and take a big breath and you're like, holy shit. And then you finish going to the toilet.
Funny.
Oh, is there anything else you want to talk
What's
about?
our point? I don't know. Like, this is the whole thing. We get on here, we might not have subjects to talk about, or
We just ramble.
we do just ramble, but we have a lot to say when we talk to each other. But in fact, we haven't spoken a lot this last year. Maybe this last couple of weeks,
You're right.
yes.
You're right.
But we really don't talk to each other as much anymore.
Yeah, there's been like, because what started all this is we'd have these conversations, but we'd have an hour phone call anyway,
Mm.
and then we just kind of realize, oh, well, let's just record it. But I think between the last episode and now, we probably had like at best 6 good combos.
Yeah.
And that's what's crazy because like we talk about our lives and how we spend it. A reason why I want to do this is because this is a cherished moment of mine to be able to speak with my mum. I don't need to complicate it any more than that. I think that, as I said earlier, this is a luxury. I'm drinking iced coconut water, and there's people out there like that are struggling to drink water at all. So like, my biggest thing is like you see influencers on social media, and the thing that makes me go, look at this fuckwit, pardon my French. Sorry.
I'm gonna wash my
I'm
hands,
sorry.
seriously.
You look at this person and you want to shake your head at them because you're like, dude, there's some bad stuff going on, and here you are putting your socks on in front of a fucking camera.
Yeah, but see that just no, that just raises points that different perspective, like how much are we able to take on the whole world's problems as well? Like
Yeah.
how much are we able to, like some people they need to be advocates or that sort of thing. I
Mm.
find it because of my work, like I'm constantly supporting people, and it's like I can do so much here and I can do so much with
Yeah.
family, but I don't feel like I can do so much out there. And if I thought too much about it, there'd be guilt, there'd be all sorts of things that would make it very difficult to do my own work on myself and my family and the ripple effect of whatever I do at work and things like that.
Yeah, there's a short phrase for it, paralysis by analysis.
Yes, well,
You see the plethora of all the problems and you just like don't even know where to start.
I think the world's problems live within us anyway,
Nice.
because there's so much when we go down on an individual level. So there's so much on like outside in the world, you know, and then if it lives in us, if we're not doing our own work with ourselves,
Yeah.
how are we carrying that burden and how are we carrying that?
Yeah.
It's so difficult. It doesn't mean we don't have compassion and empathy and all the rest of it. We can't collapse and fall down because of all the problems, is what I'm trying to say,
Yeah.
you know?
And you just got to start from where you can do anything.
That's right.
Whatever you can do is the best that you can do. And this is an optimistic mindset. Surely there's people that are like, it is possible to
There's
make your life
people, how
worse.
much homelessness is there even in our state, let alone the
Yeah.
country, even in our suburb? Like how there's so many people that are homeless.
I
I
heard,
can't walk
yeah.
from here to the shops without seeing somebody that's
I
homeless.
heard something interesting the other day about homelessness where the difference between you and like homeless person, this is crazy. This is crazy. It's just a crazy way to think, and I might get flack for this, but someone said that a homeless person lacks friends. It's because like you will be couch surfing before you're
Yeah,
homeless.
but what if you're even a woman? Oh, see, there is a lot of help out there as well.
Yeah.
Like we do have a lot of help too. It's just like there's a lot of mental illness, there's a lot of homelessness, there's a lot. We don't know until we've been in people's shoes either about what has gone on for them in their lives. So compassion is such an important. See, that's a part of, how do you show compassion if you've got the weight of the world on your shoulders as well? Like if you do have an abundance of things, how do you show that gratitude? Or, like I gave someone money the other day, and I don't think, oh, you're going to go buy this or whatever. That doesn't even cross my mind. It's just
Just
like,
help where you can.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's it's funny you brought up the homeless thing because that's a massive thing and it's hard to even know where to start. Because I was living in a van on and off for years.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I've like
But you had a home.
yeah, so being in a car is um it's like gray area homeless. You're not actually homeless, but like
Yeah,
going to
yeah,
the
I think
toilet
so.
is crazy. You know what I mean? Going to the toilet is wild. That's why a lot of dudes prefer to sleep in cars, I guess, because it's a lot more convenient for us. I can piss on a tree anywhere. Um,
Yeah,
and
but
so can chicks.
you chose to do that.
No, no, I chose to do it as voluntary and
But
stuff
why did you choose to do that?
because that's the thing. People just do what they're interested in, and it's a mixture of interested plus willing. Because like you could be interested in being fit and healthy, but are you willing to do what it takes to? Do you know what I mean? And then, but then that sounds harsh because I think a lot of I had a lot of homeless friends as I was living in a car,
Yeah.
and um. It's tough, man. There's like mental issues for sure. Yeah, man. It's yeah, so anyway, I want
No,
to
no,
I
what
want to
is
go
wait,
back to that being too big of a problem
no,
for me
no,
to
no, no,
fix.
no. When you go into that thought of
I don't
like,
know how to
oh,
fix it.
it's tough. Like,
Yeah.
what are you thinking then? Like, what is it that's tough? What are you feeling about it being tough?
Because it's a choice. So like here's the thing. I romance at going back into a van. I romance at being homeless or living like that. I actually, I stayed in a homeless shelter for one night because I wanted to suss it out. That's honestly, I just wanted to see what it's like. And there's this, there's this air of like time not being a thing. Like imagine, imagine relinquishing all of your responsibilities and just living out there on the street. It's a crazy idea to not have any plans today and no plans tomorrow.
I would
It's
feel,
wild.
I would just complete.
I love
Well,
it.
no,
I
no, no,
love it.
but that's the thing. Like, I would feel completely displaced. Like I need a home. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's why I feel for refugee. It's totally, completely nothing like that. But if I imagined what that would feel like, I don't see that as being free. I actually see that as feeling displaced.
Yeah, but that's,
Yeah,
we're
that's
always
me. That's a
projecting our
different.
things onto
No, but that's what I mean. Like, that's completely different temperament. Like, even when I was young, that
yeah.
I needed
So
that
look,
safe
most people
safety.
don't want to live like that. So
Yeah.
that's why they're living the way they are.
So why
But we
did
can't talk for other people.
no,
I
no.
hate to think I can solve homelessness right now. This is getting a bit barbed wiry, this topic. I don't
Yeah, it
I don't know if I
is.
like it because I feel very strongly about it.
Yeah,
Like I have a good friend in Bondi. Anyone that lives in Bondi will know this woman,
yeah,
Maria.
yeah.
And she lived under the bridge there for years. And she's probably still there. And you'll always find her sitting down, um, just smoking a ciggy or something. And that's all she did every day. And I don't really want to smoke ciggies that much, but I would love to sit down next to her and smoke ciggies. I used to sit down with her at least once a day and say hi, sit down, smoke with her. It was so fun because she didn't have anything to do. She was so humble.
So
People
unencumbered.
wanted to help her all the time. People from the government would come around and be like, "Hey Mary, can we help you?" And she'd be like, "No." She's a very stubborn woman. Um,
Did she have mental health issues?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I don't think so. So there's this woman that lives under the bridge in Bondi at the beach, and she's a lovely woman. I don't see anything wrong with her at all. And she's the one that filmed my music video called All I Do Is Win. She filmed it. She's a anyway. Um, Homelessness. Can I solve that when I'm like 80 years old and like a
I don't know
politician?
if we can solve that in our lifetime.
Well, that's pessimistic.
Well,
I would like to.
in my lifetime then.
No. Well, don't be like that. That's
Well,
still
you said
pessimistic.
80 something, that's a long time.
Yeah. 50 years from now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll still be alive.
Oh yeah, I'll be 103, no
Easy.
problem. Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
sweet.
Oh, it's so funny. Should we finish now?
Yeah. Is
Yeah.
there anything else you want to say?
Uh um just I guess something about the anxiety before going back to work and how I handle it in a way, which is I really have to scale back from um just doing anything really before I go back to work,
Scale
or
back.
do or go into the garden or do like my painting, like I can't do anything that, like I just need the space to have like a little bit of freedom for myself.
What does that mean?
That just means not going and doing stuff with people and
Oh,
not going and,
yeah. The responsibility to be socially active.
yes,
Yeah,
that's
fuck that.
exactly what it is.
I love being
Yeah.
in my little home itself.
That's what I go into my shell a bit
Oh, it's so nice.
because I feel, with that paralysis type of thing, I
Yeah.
feel like I really need that space to just sit with whatever anxiety or whatever I'm feeling and just to, it's not just thinking about it, because if I'm just thinking about it, I can't deal on a like emotional level. So I've got to ground and bodily sense it.
Do
Does that
you
make
sweep under
sense?
the rug?
No, definitely not.
So you
If I
ground.
was sweeping under the rug, I'd be going out and
Ah,
socializing.
yes.
Do you know what I
Oh,
mean?
okay. Yeah.
I would actually be putting things in front of it.
Nice. Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
almost like fighting fire with fire when you just like, I don't know, it almost sounds like instead of this anxiety lighting a fire under your butt and pushing you to like, I don't know, just try to solve the issue of being stressed out externally
I
rather you go
know
inside.
that's it. Like it's got to be an inside job, but I know that probably mid-morning tomorrow, I'm going to be completely fine, or it could
Yeah.
be lunchtime or something. It's
Yeah.
just that anticipation,
Yeah.
trepidation. Remember
Yeah.
that word? Write
Yeah.
that word down.
Trepidation.
Trepidation.
That's
Yeah.
exciting. That's exciting because yeah, I'm looking forward to like how it goes. And yeah, like from what I see, from what I reckon is gonna happen, they're gonna love you. Like why wouldn't they?
It's not even that they won't love me. It's more about all the work I have to do,
Yeah.
starting a course next week,
No.
all the students coming in. So those sort of things that there's sort of like anticipation from their part, there's anticipation from my side,
Yeah.
making sure that everything's okay. It's kind of like hosting something,
It's kind of lovely.
and it is sort of like a circle in a way. So
Wow.
it's a real holding.
Yeah.
And so it comes from both
There's a
sides.
lot of responsibility.
Yeah, there's a lot of responsibility.
That's awesome. Well, that's fun.
Yeah.
Like you gotta do
Not
something.
right now. It's
You gotta do something though.
maybe because I'm on holidays and maybe I just need to go in and just
Yeah,
start
see,
it.
a big part of us just wants to be like Mary, smoking C's at the beach.
Pretty much.
You know what I
If I could
mean?
go and smoke ciggies at the beach, I'll be happy.
Yeah,
Yeah. Mary, I'm coming.
she's pretty smart. God,
Yeah.
yeah. If anyone sees Mary at Bondi Beach, tell her I said hi.
Thanks,
Yeah,
guys. We
that's
should
it.
go now.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mum. I didn't even cancel it because I want to show off that I'm hugging my mum on the internet.
No.